Hello there, guys. It's me, Ethan. So recently, on Tuesday, September 17th, I went to another concert. What's that? You want to know what concert it was? Why, it was the Jonas Brothers on their Happiness Begins tour. Where's the location, you ask? Same place I saw Shawn Mendes, in Milwaukee at Pfizer Forum. So I thought I'd give out my thoughts and review on what I thought about the show, then show you pictures that I'd taken during the concert, and then I may have a little surprise to show you. What's the surprise, you ask? Stay tuned to the ending to find out. So, let's get started. So the first performer was the first opening act for the Jonas Brothers, which was Jordan McGraw. Now, for those of you who don't know who Jordan McGraw is, he's the son of Dr. Phil McGraw. That's right, you heard me. The Dr. Phil McGraw. It's his son! Can you believe it? Jordan started off with his hit song Flexible, and then performed some other hits that he released, ending it off with a cover of an old hit from Blink-182. The reason why he performed that, because his very first concert was Blink-182. Who knew? Good job, Jordan. Next up was the second opener for the Jonas Brothers, Bebe Rexha. Now let me tell you a fun story about her performance. In the middle of it, when she was performing Take Me Home, she brought up someone from the audience and he did a crazy dance. He was really silly and he was having a lot of fun. I got quite a bit of it on film so I can show you. But the songs that she performed were mainly a bunch of songs that she collaborated with, like G-Eazy, the Chainsmokers, Martin Garrix, and even, of course, which was her final song, with Florida Georgia Line, Meant to Be. Boy, was that really awesome. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, the Jonas Brothers! The way how they entered the stage, it was like an elevator lifting them down, down, down to the main stage. And when they got off, they kicked out their performance with Roller Coaster, which is one of the songs off of Happiness Begins. Then they performed one of their old hits, SOS. And then they kicked off with some songs from Happiness Begins and some old hits, like That's Just the Way We Roll, When You Look Me in the Eyes, Love Bug, Year 3000, which was towards the end, and hits off of Happiness Begins like Cool, Only Human, and of course, which was in the encore, Sucker. And guess what? Both Nick and Joe performed their solo hits, Jealous and Cake by the Ocean. Let me tell you about the performance of Cake by the Ocean. You know how at dealerships they have like some big floaty guys? Well, when they were performing Cake by the Ocean, they had them up, blowing everywhere, and they had confettis. I took some pictures of it so I can show you what they looked like. But boy, through all that, the entire performance was just phenomenal. Just brilliant. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's look at some pictures now, shall we? And here is Jordan McGraw. This is when he was performing Flexible. Oh, look at there. I got some really good pictures on there. Sorry if some of these look a bit blurry. And here is BB Rexa. This I apologize here because some of them did get a bit blurry. But this one right here is that member of the audience that I was telling you about that she pulled up on stage. Here's a better picture of him. Look at there. He's just having a good time and being really, really silly. Ah, here's the video I caught. So there is how they entered the stage. It's just like I told you. It was like an elevator lift lifting them down to the stage. And there they are. Now I won't show all of these right here because I took quite a bit. So this is when they were performing Only Human. Here's where Nick was performing Jealous. Now here they are performing Cake by the Ocean. So you remember those big floaty guys that I was telling you about? Well, here they are. Got some good ones right here. This is when they were performing Lug Bug. That was great. This is where they were performing Year 3000. This is when they were performing Burning Up. And here they are performing Sucker. And that was the end of their performance. Now, are you ready for the big surprise? I met Jordan McGraw! That's right. I got to meet him. Here, let me show you some more photos. There are 3 of them. Now, these are his backup singers. Yeah, how cool is that? I got to meet them. So, let me tell you that story. So here's how I got to meet Jordan. Of course, my mother and I were standing in line, this and that. And then, for some reason, they wanted to change the line. So if you wanted to take a picture and sign an autograph, which I'll show that later, you have to go to a different line. So of course everyone's running to this line. And I was getting pretty upset and worried. My anxiety was getting into me because I really wanted to see BB Rexa, because this was after Jordan's performance. So my mother had this idea of giving my letter that I made for Jordan to the backup singers. So we went up to them, asked them if they can give it to us. They saw the letter, and they even saw this poster that I made for them. And then they asked, do you want to go to the front of the line? Of course, my mother wasn't sure because she didn't want to make sure that nobody cared. And they said no one cared. And then this one singer, her name was Jessica, just took me to the front of the line. She was really nice. And then when I met Jordan, he commented on my Mario shirt when I met him. And guess what? When I showed him my letter, he said he's going to read it and follow me on Twitter. So big shout out to Jessica for helping me out for this, and thank you so much. Here's the autograph that Jordan signed if you're wondering what it looked like. Alright, ready for the second surprise? Are you sure? Okay. I got high-fived by Joe Jonas! Yes, that's right. Joe Jonas. He high-fived me. How did that happen, you ask? Well, where my mother and I was sitting in the audience, it was right next to the catwalk. So of course, as soon as the Jonas Brothers were about to get off the main stage and go to the B stage, they're all going to the railing of the catwalk, having their hands out, seeing if they'll get high-fived by any one of them. And that's what I did. And when Joe was coming down, high-fiving everyone, he high-fived me! You don't believe me? Go check out my mother's Facebook. She caught it all on film. So, big thank you to her for that. And that's my thoughts on the Jonas Brothers in Milwaukee at Pfizer Forum on their Happiness Begins tour. So as you can tell, I really enjoyed it. A lot. Especially the part where I met Jordan and got high-fived by Joe. Oh, that was awesome. So let me know in the comments if you saw the Jonas Brothers in Milwaukee, or are you gonna go see them somewhere else? But until then, I'll see you next time.